And we're back at TD Garden. Josue Pavone here alongside Nick Gelso.
Again.
Nick, I thought you talked to the Garden people about this, man. I thought you said that they don't turn the lights off until we're done recording. What's going on, man? It's dark in here.
Dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. They didn't pay the bills. I don't know. Maybe I didn't pay for my season
I think you would give me some sort of excuse there, but you had nothing.
I don't know. I had nothing to go back on with that, man. All I can tell you is it's lights on when the game is happening, and that's all that matters. And there's some big ones coming up this weekend.
There is. One on Friday night against the Charlotte Hornets, which I feel like the Celtics have played them like 7 times
right,
now because of the preseason.
Right?
But
big difference, though, this time. No Gordon Hayward.
Okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
No Al Horford.
No Al Horford. And I really think this, concussion thing is going to keep him out for quite some time. So I'm anticipating not seeing him on Sunday against the Hornets. Oh, excuse me, against the Raptors, which is a tougher opponent in my opinion. But let's stick with the Hornets first.
Yep.
Of course, Dwight Howard's been playing pretty better than we expected. We could say that, right? Better than last year. He's been productive for them. Charlotte Hornets, of course, provide that sort of difficulties down low when there's no Al Horford.
Yeah.
Let's face it, he's been the anchor of the defense, arguably one of the better defending big men in the NBA.
I think he's ranked #1 in efficiency.
In efficiency, he is ranked #1. Nick, how do they do it without him?
It's going to be tough, man. It is going to be very tough, but they're going to have to defend by committee. You got Baines. Celtics are going to rely a lot on Aaron Baines. You're going to see more of Marcus Morris, and hopefully Marcus' offense could somewhat compensate for what we're losing with Al.
Right.
But truthfully, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be defense by committee, and it's going to be a lot of switching of rotations, and everybody's got to step up.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Marcus Morris, I sort of overlooked his offense. You look at him.
Yeah, man, you were salivating tonight.
I was a little bit. I mean, this guy's pulling up, popping J's in front of people's faces like it's nothing. He had one play in particular in the corner, 2 seconds left on the shot clock. You think how he's going to get out of it. Pulls up a 3 like it's nothing, and he doesn't even phase him.
He's fast. That's what's impressive to me, too.
He is fast.
But, Charlotte could be a trap game, 10 in a row. They're playing decent. I think they're about a 500 team.
Which is what you can expect. But those are the type of teams that will break a 10-game winning streak.
Exactly. And the Celtics are a little bit beat up.
Yeah.
You say no Al Horford Sunday. I say if he's cleared, he plays, because that's a big game.
I don't know, Nick. The NBA, concussion protocol,
they
don't mess around. They don't mess around. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
He's not going to be cleared. That's my prediction. But let's move on. Toronto Raptors, of course.
That's bigger than – don't even talk about Golden State next week, because Toronto is the big game.
Right. I mean, this team gave them fits, of course. They had some really down-to-the-wire games last season. Of course, this is a much different team. But let's face it, the Toronto Raptors, I mean, they're still trying to prove that they are one of the top dogs in the Eastern Conference. And right now, it seems like they're being overlooked by the Cavaliers, of course, which is not – they're not even in the top 8 right now, but they're still in the conversation.
Right.
But, of course, being overlooked by
everybody. They're just getting the
division-leading Boston Celtics.
And the Celtics. I mean, truth of the matter is, though, the Celtics have to get through the Eastern Conference, right? They're not going to beat the Golden State Warriors. So Celtics fans,
you don't think so?
Oh, I don't think this team has constructed. Do you think they could beat Golden State?
In a regular season game?
No, I mean in the finals. So I'm talking about.
Pump the brakes, Nick. This is November, man. We're not even gotten to Thanksgiving yet.
Hold up. When you're talking about testing a true test, right? The Celtics need to get through these Eastern Conference upper echelon opponents, because they're really all that matters. The Clevelands, the Torontos, the Washingtons.
The Wizards, yeah.
Because if you want a long playoff run that may stretch into the NBA Finals, those are the teams you have to beat. And guess what? It's going to be very difficult to beat Golden State. So let's focus on Toronto and Cleveland. That's why Toronto's such a big game, and we'll be here, Josue.
Well, absolutely, we will be here. But also, real quick, Nick, before we wrap things up, I think these unique opportunities for guys like Tice, for guys like Baines, for really step up in there, play big-time minutes, I think that's going to further develop, of course, what they're able to do for the team. And also, we'll see come, March, April, those games that we're talking about, playoff time, we'll see how this team really meshes when all those guys have that experience underneath their belt.
Before we wrap, the long game still looks bright for the Boston Celtics, because you're getting experience all the way across the board with the uptick in minutes with the role players all the way around. But for the immediate moment, it might be a scary 2 games. But hell, the Celtics just won 10 in a row.
Yeah, you can't complain there, and I'm sure you'd be hard-pressed to find someone that would have predicted that after those first 2 losses of the season. Well, with that, we'll wrap things up here at TD Garden. For CLNS Media, for Nick Gelso, I am Josue Pavone. This has been The Garden Report.